here's what's happening. You are going to learn how to put your first image on a Flipchart page if you have not done this before. So there's many different ways to do this. There's many different places to get images. So we're just going to do the most simple way of doing that. I have my content Flipchart that I'm building along with you open. And I also have a browser open. Doesn't matter what browser that you are on, you just need to be at google.com. So what I'm going to do is I am going to search using a term for a type of image that I might want. So I am going to put in the word cell and I press return. Now when you press return, on the left-hand side or at the top, if you wanted to start that way, you can go to just images. So right now I have web pages, but I'm going to go just to images. And this is my results screen for the images. So I may want to look around and find something that would be representative of a animal or a plant cell to put on my page. Now if you hover over the image, hover means that you're not clicking necessarily, you are going to see some numbers. Like this one right here says 390 by 336. This is in a unit called pixels, and there's about 100 pixels in an inch. Keep in mind that if this number is really, really small and you want the image to be big on your page, you're going to have to stretch the image and it's going to distort. So you want to make sure that you get something that is of decent size and quality so you don't have to stretch it and distort it. That looks terrible on a flip chart. So if you are filling the entire page with the image, get something that's big, so that like 800 by 600 or something like that. The other thing that you want to avoid is what we call watermarks. Boy, I can't see any right here, but watermarks are like faded images that are on the cells that indicate that this image is copyright protected and that it's being sold by a clip art company. Now, if you don't see it, that doesn't mean that it isn't copyright protected, but the watermark is a sure sign that you shouldn't take it. Now we're going to grab a picture. So I want it to be of decent size. This one was fine. So what I do is I click on the image, and that should bring it up to its normal size, and I actually go ahead and click on full size image. It's easier to copy if you do that. Now if I hold down the control key with one of my fingers and I click on the image, you're going to get a menu like this, and I want to copy it. So I'm copying the image, and now I'm going to move to my flip chart, which I can either do by clicking on the window behind here like that, or of course, you can always go and find it in your dock and click on it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it, which you can do from the edit menu, or you can do Command V for paste on the keyboard if you like to do these shortcuts. And what happens is that we have an image on the page. Now, I'm not a huge fan of that white background. I know a trick to get rid of those using a program called Preview, and I can do it lickety-split. If you want to learn that trick, you must email me. So my second favorite way, but maybe an easier way to remember how to get rid of the white backgrounds, is with the Fill tool. So if I click on the Fill tool, I'm going to want to fill this space with the background color. But in my case, I do have the background color on my palette, but let's say I didn't. Then what you would do is hold down the control key and you would change one of these palettes to the background color with the dropper tool. So you hold down the control key, click on the palette, bring up your finger that was on the control key, it doesn't have to sit there, select the color picker, which is the dropper, and then if you touch the dropper on the background, that little square becomes the background color. And now that's what I'm going to fill. That did actually work out nicely this time. Doesn't always work out that well. So that's a technique that you can use if you want those white backgrounds to be the same color as your background color. All right, very quickly, I'm going to go grab another image. So now I'm going back to my browser, and I'm going to hit the back key a couple times here so that I get back to my Google search or my results. And this time I'm going to grab this image. I go to full size image. I'm going to hold down the control key, click on it, copy the image, go back to my page, and this time I'm going to paste it with a Command V on my keyboard. And now I'm going to go to my select tool to move it to a different part of the page. Then I'm going to click on it to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to place that on my page. And then we could test the old theory of using the fill tool. See if it works as well on this one. See, it did not work as well on this one. So anyway, you're going to have mixed results on that, but that is something that you can try. But I don't think I want to do it on this one. That's your first image on your page.